from Sheldon's life-changing moments to Georgie becoming the head of the family.
Got everything under control.
And to Mary completely changing her attitude toward her late husband.
He left all of us. How could you do that?
Let's see what happened to each main character of Young Sheldon after the series ended. Sheldon Cooper. We all know that this young man hated change more than anything. But at the end of the series, the titular character found himself amid the biggest changes ever. Not only did he move from Texas to California to continue his studies and career at Caltech, but he also had to deal with the death of his father. The two-part finale showed how hard it was for Sheldon to come to terms with it. He kept on rolling in his head the last time he saw George, and the young man tried to think of something that he had to tell his dad. Now we understand very well the words Sheldon later said to Howard when his mother passed away.
When I lost my own father, I didn't have any friends to help me through it. You do.
Coming to Caltech, he was on his way to find those friends. As years passed, Sheldon formed a peer group with Leonard, Howard, and Raj. Then Penny joined the gang, along with Amy, Bernadette, and of course, Stuart. As he had a support group there for him no matter what, Sheldon finally began changing and showing his humane side. We all know that he ended up winning the Nobel Prize and having kids with Amy. By the way, wouldn't it be cool to watch a series about him as a dad? While you're imagining how it could be, let's talk about his twin sister, Missy Cooper. The girl had her issues even in the previous season of Young Sheldon. Tired of being ignored by her parents, she entered her rebellious stage and got into a lot of trouble. Then, she had to take care of the whole family after a tornado destroyed Meemaw's house. But the finale brought Missy the biggest blow ever, the loss of her beloved father. They were so close and had such a special relationship that accepting this fact was pretty much impossible. Missy reacted in her own way by getting angry at everyone.
We're talking about Dad's funeral. Why don't you care?
This tragedy probably affected her whole life. As we remember from The Big Bang Theory, it didn't turn out too well, at least in Sheldon's eyes. He once mentioned that Missy worked as a hostess at Fuddruckers, Texas. She got married twice and had 4 kids. Missy and Sheldon didn't communicate much, but she was there for him at his key events. She attended his wedding to Amy and was happy for him when he won the Nobel. Meanwhile, Sheldon was there for Missy when she was in labor, and her husband was recovering after an accident. Hopefully, we'll see more of this young lady in the upcoming spin-off, and find out how she became the woman we saw in TBBT. So far, all we know is that the new series will focus on her elder brother, Georgie Cooper. Young Sheldon showed quite a growth in this guy. He managed to fully take on the responsibility of becoming a father as soon as he found out that his girlfriend was pregnant. And he also turned out to be the strongest person in his family. Because the moment his dad passed away, Georgie knew that he had to take care of everyone. Starting with the funeral, he did just that. The young man took all under control, from choosing a coffin to helping his mother as much as possible. Indeed, the Cooper patriarch would have been proud of how Georgie handled everything. Not only did he accept his new role, but he also managed to build a successful career. Georgie always had a knack for business and eventually found a way to make money.
He's a loser who sells more tires than anyone in Texas.
This was hinted at even in the early seasons of Young Sheldon. Remember Georgie, the tire whisperer?
Talk to me. Tell me where it hurts.
As we know from The Big Bang Theory, Georgie was angry at Sheldon for walking away from his family at this difficult moment.
Mom was a mess. Missy was a dumb teenager. I had to look after both of them.
He even called his company Dr. Tire to annoy Sheldon. Fortunately, the brothers eventually reconciled. And what about Georgie's first wife? Mandy McAllister. It took her quite a lot of time to agree to Georgie's proposal. Yet, creating a family with him made her happy. The only negative thing about their marriage was having to live with her parents. The spin-off about Georgie and Mandy will certainly show us more of their funny and sometimes awkward interactions. Hopefully, Mandy's complex relationship with her mother will develop and improve with time. But the most interesting thing, for sure, is watching her dynamic with Georgie. After all, based on the stories in The Big Bang Theory, we know that not everything will go smoothly for the two of them. Sheldon shared that his elder brother married twice. Even when he won a Nobel Prize, he got greetings from Georgie's ex-wife and his other ex-wife. Emily Osment has an interesting theory about it.
I'm the ex-wife and the new wife. People do that. People get divorced and then get remarried. Why can't you be both?
The new series will show us if she's right. And we're also looking forward to seeing other Young Sheldon characters in the upcoming spin-off, such as Connie Tucker. Starting from the end of Season 6, the all-beloved Meemaw has been in quite a troubled period. It all began with the tornado demolishing her house. Then, Connie found herself without business or money, and with dozens of hours of social work as a punishment. As if it all wasn't enough, she was devastated by George's passing. And she also had to watch her daughter fall apart after this tragic loss. All these events partially explain the change in Meemaw's personality that's about to happen. Throughout Young Sheldon, she's been a playful and funny grandma who's always ready for adventure. And in The Big Bang Theory, she's much more strict and less humorous. Something will probably happen in the Georgie and Mandy spin-off that will eventually turn her into a different person. Will the breakup with Dale become a point of no return for Meemaw? Since he was never mentioned in TBBT, their relationship is likely to end at some point. But at least one thing about Meemaw remained unchanged, both in the original series and the prequel. She's always been Sheldon's favorite family member. Some could even say that she was his weakness, because he never could speak ill of his grandmother, and it was very important for him that she liked Amy. Too bad Meemaw didn't attend Sheldon's wedding. Maybe it was because she was already in her 90s and couldn't travel? Guess we'll never know. And now, let's talk about Connie's daughter, Mary Cooper. As the series ended, she was at her lowest point. The death of her husband completely broke Mary, to the point that she became more fervent with her faith than ever. She even wanted to have her children baptized against their will. And we finally got a hint as to why Mary spoke so poorly about George in The Big Bang Theory.
I'm so mad at him. I'm mad at God. I'm mad at myself.
It seems that she kept on being angry at her late husband. It also could have been a way for Mary to deal with his passing. So, later in life, she probably just got into a habit of saying bad things about George. And since Sheldon never had a close relationship with his dad, he kind of supported her. In many ways, Mary remained an important person in his life. Remember how she made him apologize to Penny when they had their little war? She was the only person who could do such a thing. Finally, let's talk about the character, whose passing left all of us heartbroken. George Cooper. We knew from the very beginning of the series that he was supposed to pass away. Even if you haven't watched TBBT before Young Sheldon, you could hear quite a few hints about it throughout the show. However, although fans expected it to happen, and many feared that moment, it was still a blow.
I'm so sorry.
It's especially sad that George left this world when he was in such a good place with his family. His relationship with Mary was on a high, and he got a coaching job at a major university. Everything seemed to be going so well until he had a fatal heart attack. His passing was even more devastating due to how he was pictured in Young Sheldon. George wasn't a good-for-nothing father who only liked to drink beer and took no interest in his kids. On the contrary, he always tried his hardest to make his family happy. He even sacrificed his own desires for the sake of others. Moreover, George never actually cheated on his wife, despite what Sheldon thought he saw.
I am Helga. Do you like what you see?
Although we said goodbye to this beloved character, the new series might show him in flashbacks, or at least mention him once in a while. Share in the comments below if you're looking forward to the George and Mandy spin-off. And tell us what you'd like to know about it.